third edition of the AEGEAN 600 has been the most popular ever, attracting 45 teams from 16 countries around the world. Among these are a wide variety of boat types, from all carbon fibre custom race boats to production cruisers, and from small speciality 30-foot designs to massive super yachts of over 100 foot long. The Maxi class attracted 11 entries, with some famous for their racing prowess throughout the world of offshore sailing. With the right weather conditions, they represented a serious threat to the existing course record set in last year's second edition of the race. Knowing the famous Maxi wind could deliver windy conditions and rough seas in this race, both new and returning teams spent tremendous time and effort to get their boats and crews ready. This preparation included assembling a great team of sailors, preparing the boat and sails, complying with the requirements of the race, such as attending safety seminars, and even performing practice manoeuvres before the start. In fact, this year's organisers from the Hellenic Offshore Racing Club scheduled the Attica warm-up race to give teams the chance to get themselves and their system ready for the main event. This practice race was popular, with about half of the fleet participating. Just as in previous editions, organisers also gave the participants the opportunity to learn about the history of the region with an organised tour of the ancient temples of Poseidon, which overlook the beginning and end of the AEGEAN 600. There is no more a spectacular and appropriate symbolic place to start and end an offshore race. The start of this third edition was perfect, with 15 to 20 knot winds for the fleet to get off to a fast start. The first leg to Milos was a very fast, broad reach, with the far 100-footer Leopard 3 and the Volvo 70 I Love Poland speeding down the course and reaching the next turn at Santorini in the fastest pace yet in the history of the race. After their transit in the dark of the first night, the rest of the fleet enjoyed the scenery at the Caldera on the following day. At the course's southernmost turning point at Kassos and Karpathos, the Maxi was at full strength with gusts of over 35 knots and huge 3 to 4 metre seas. Relief came further east in the lee of Rhodes, but at the north end of the island the wind and the seas were still quite strong. The next phase of the course is sailing short legs among the many islands of the eastern AEGEAN, a serious navigational and seamanship challenge for the fast pace of the two leading teams. Nonetheless, the brisk wind conditions held for them as they sped through the remainder of the course to finish back at Cape Sunio in record time. Leopard 3 smashed the existing course record with a new mark of 45 hours, 5 minutes and 25 seconds. Then the Meltemi started to fade, along with the fleet's memories of a very fast first half of the race. For some, the wind fell to nearly nothing as they entered the final stretch from Mykonos to the finish, some spending hours and hours in glassy conditions, a far cry from what they had just 24 hours earlier. Yet most teams seem to take this in their stride as an inherent part of the challenge. In all offshore sailing, you experience everything and need to be ready for everything, a feature of this year's edition of the AEGEAN 600, the perfect 600-mile race.